Hi everyone, welcome to Zelda Speedruns. Today we have Game 2 of the Z2R Standard Tournament NIT Finals. This is jkoper versus ta909. Tracking today we have RG365. And on commentary we have Methinkso and Elendar. And they will take it from here.
Hello, everybody. Looking forward to another great race in this series. This is a finals that I think a lot of people could have predicted. ta909 and jkoper trying to add another trophy over to the pile. They can toss them all in. How do you feel about this match? You think so?
Oh, I am very excited to see what happens here. And honestly, one of the best things about this match is because we're in the finals, no matter what happens today, we will be seeing a game 3. So this party doesn't end today.
Nope. And I suspect it's going to continue a lot more than the 3 games that is the minimum we're going to get.
Absolutely.
I think these two runners are pretty evenly matched. jkoper, of course, a veteran of basically every rando. ta909, the current, I think, standard champion for Zelda 1 randomizer, and quite a good Zelda 2 runner in himself. So should be a close one, should be a good one.
Yeah, I remember TA going pretty far in upstarts. Like, I mean, he made it to the finals, right?
Yeah, he was my pick to win that tournament. Ended up just a little short, but looking to avoid going that same way here. He is going to have a little bit of a mountain to climb, though, because jkoper did win the first one in this series.
Yeah, let's see what he pulls out today.
We should be good to go. Just a couple more seconds here. And Koper looking like he's got color shuffle on. I think we got purple Trogdor today, and just a fairly normal Link from TA's side. And here we go.
Gotta love that Trogdor sprite.
Oh yeah, it's a good one. And here we go. Okay, free boots immediately. If this is Islands, I'm gonna be sad. And it is. Maybe it is. It looks like it is.
Oh, there's GP right away.
Oh, it may not be. This has to be Islands. If there's a Saria across. Well, I mean, I guess it could be vanilla-like, but it's definitely looking like we've got some baby islands going on. Both runners completely synchronized. But Boots and Thunderspell, definitely things that you want early.
No one's saying hello to the bot. Makes me sad.
Yeah, we're going to have to keep track of how expensive Thunder is. 88, so runners want to be careful to, at some point, get enough magic to cast that. Yeah, the bot not going to be that relevant here. Okay, jump behind the trophy. Not looking for that today. Oh, this could still be vanilla-like.
Yeah, it's looking vanilla-like.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's... Sorry. What is going on? I'm wondering where the other end of that Saria is, because Koper was checking... Okay, no, the water does go on here. So yeah, still could be vanilla-like, could be Islands, not entirely sure. You know, one of the things Islands can do, whenever the Islands battle happens, because of the way the initial water draws, there can be up to 4, like, it's 2 to 4 rows and 2 to 4 columns of Islands. And if you roll 2 rows and 2 columns, you would definitely get islands that are like really big and kind of look like Vanilla Lake. So Fire Spell Sighting from TA, not going to be able to cast that yet, not going to know what it is, but I know about you, when I get early Fire Spell, I'm going to prioritize magic levels a lot more just so I can find out, just because if it is Fire Thunder or Fire Life or Fire Fairy or something really powerful like that, you want to know as soon as possible.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Is that a bridge and a raft on the same? I think that raft must count as being on the bottom side because it was so far down in the corner and it was like on a. That's unusual to see the raft and the bridge right next to each other.
Yeah, you don't see that very often. Oh, there's the other end of Saria on Koper's side, I think. He is about to head north here.
Okay, and that road confirms that this is, in fact, just islands looking Vanilla Lake. Kind of nice to get free boots in a see. Although I guess this is the east. Okay, so it looks like east may also be Vanilla Lake.
Risen Peaback Cave with 111. That's going to be challenging.
This is the one spot where you really wish you had the candle. Yeah, it looks like there's a coconut there at the first spot, and TA is just gonna have to wait it out, be patient.
And then beat his head against the wall here. We'll see how it works. Ah, there it goes.
Yeah, pretty reasonable decision just to get out and go back to the west. There's plenty of checks still here on the west for him. We know the first one he checks is going to be a heart container. Second one, the medicine. And we haven't seen, let's say, the medicine spell. That's right, we have seen that one.
Yeah.
So no access to jump or fairy in the west. Probably gonna want to hold off on getting that spell until you can get down stab.
There's our glove.
Okay. So everything just in the west today. For every awful seed where you have to dig Death Mountain and go through a million different things to try and find the relevant items, you get some easy ones here. Interesting that Koper didn't find that glove, given he's already checked in this area.
Hopefully he doesn't know the loop and fix that up. Definitely don't want to be trouncing around the east and possibly jumping into palaces without that when it's so free. And speaking of free, there's a raft.
Okay, so that's going to give us access to, hopefully, Maze Island, if the runners are sad, Death Mountain. I guess it could also just take you to the east as well. That would be really trolly. It's not that common that you get parallel connectors like that, but it can happen. He gets his hard container. Kind of wishes he had that when he was east, but I don't think that a hard container is going to be enough to live through coconuts anyway.
Not even with life 2 that he has now.
Yeah, maybe. Coconuts hurt.
There's a 3/6.
As in, don't know, was this 7? Oh, this is 3/6. We saw 7. Have we seen the last Palace in the West?
I don't think we have yet.
500's in the large pool. So T gonna catch up to jkoper on experience. jkoper finds an item, but not gonna be able to grab it just yet. I think he's just looking for enough experience, and blue iron knuckle drippers are gonna give him that. He's still searching this palace. He doesn't have any logical way to clear it, so a little. Maybe he's just doing some optimistic checks. Yeah, if he just wants to get this level and get out, then these drippers are gonna be his best bet.
Oh, he's sticking around though.
Yeah, okay. Maybe he's just trying to take magic levels. And okay, well this is gonna be a little tricky for him. Yeah, tricky enough that he's declining. jkoper, I'm sure, absolutely can do a 2-3-3 down established Rebo. He just doesn't want to. You're gonna have to come back anyway with fairy or any key, so good decision.
Lucky, unless we get lucky here and the boss drops our keys, but that's a big gamble.
Yeah, interestingly, if boss drops are keys and he took down that Rebo, he could go back and get the item with it.
True.
It'd be a neat little logic break. Okay, so Cooper's back to this west coast.
He is. Oh.
Yeah, it looks like he hadn't gotten Fire Spell yet. Yeah, and he's not even checking the sign to see what it is. I don't blame him. Magic 3, he might be able to cast fire. We can maybe get a check what it is. Still uncastable on TA's side.
Speaking of GA there, it's hard to tell what it is. Oh, a little,
yeah.
What are those called? That little Mew?
I think they're the Mews, yeah. There's a Mew and Bouncy Chicken in here, or a Bouncy Cat in here. There's not the Bouncy Cat, not the real name of those enemies, but real enough for us. No hints. Gonna get the raft. So Cooper should find his glove. He knows there's still items out here. And given how much else he's checked, he's gonna double check this area. He's got the medicine, thinking about whether he wants to get spell now. He's gonna do it. It's a little bit unclear. Yeah, I think the hints are a big reason to do this, but unfortunately, he does get his hint and it's garbage.
He will have to come back here one way or another for once he has either jump or fairy to pick up down stab.
Yeah, the concern is just it's fire jump.
Oh, we missed that. Okay.
Okay.
Never mind. That's a great time to go.
Oh, it's unless he got the trophy somewhere. He must have checked it. Okay, having fire jump makes this a totally different story.
Yeah.
Yeah, and TA also gonna get his down stab, so they must have checked it, and we just missed it. Ordinarily, fire jump not great here. Both runners really gonna be happy about, even if you never cast it again for the rest of the game. If it lets you have down stab before you go back east, then it's worth.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you're ever going to get fire jump, now's the time to get it. It's like the only time it's going to be useful.
And by the time you get back into GP and the cost goes down, you'll be happy you have it.
Raft leads to DM.
Yeah, but it's a canyon DM.
Oh.
And
okay.
the DM immediately leads to question mark, the east.
East.
Goodbye, River Devil. The east just leads immediately to the base. Okay.
Those connectors are all bunched up together today.
Yeah, the seat has taken mercy on our runners.
There's our child. So there's really just, you don't need anything else, I guess. I mean, you gotta find Fairy Town at least, but...
Yeah, I think Fairy Town's gonna be it. We know Flute not gonna be... I guess it's possible that there's a Three-Eyed Rock is hiding a palace or a important town or something. If the town with Fairy is hiding in the Three-Eyed Rock, that'd be funny, but yeah. Probably just need to find our towns here on the east, and it's going to be go mode.
There's our Three-Eyed Rock on TA side. No idea what's in it yet. Might just be junk.
Yeah, it's usually junk in these flags because it could be any location, and there's a lot more junk locations than there are good ones, but... Oh. There goes that possibility. Okay.
Alright. I guess we also need Reflect. So that's
gotta find the town with Reflect and the last palace, and we only found one palace here on the east, I think. Yeah, and 5 bars life 3 still not enough for Koper to live through a coconut hit.
I think he was down to 3 bars when he went in there, but yeah, that's not pretty.
Yeah. Probably at life 3, 5 bars he might be if he were full.
Yeah.
But no sign of the life spell yet. Also, I'm sure our runners would probably like a magic container at some point.
That would be good to find. Nice little 500 P bag on the desert tile. TA, I'll grind it up.
And finding some towns. Oh, there it is.
Left.
You know, just we need 2 spells in the east. It's just going to be the first 2 we find. Okay, cool, bye.
We have one more palace to find. There's a potential upstab if we find Darunias. Otherwise, I guess we're kind of just looking at routing and execution here.
Yeah, I think in a execution battle, jkoper may have the edge. Just because he's got a lot more reps in on Z2. But palace routing is always a crapshoot.
Yeah, jkoper still has to find his way over to Fairy Town, which I think was like all the way on the right side of this map.
Shield probably worth picking up. So go east to find something.
Flute, I think.
Okay. Cool. Don't think TA has enough to cast spell, so he's just grabbing shield and getting out of here. And jkoper now finding the maze. He's gonna check it. He still hasn't found Fairy Spell. I think having gotten that child, he'll probably turn around right away.
Yeah, you might as well just continue hunting out your towns at this point.
You know, that's the last big thing you need. But he is gonna keep going. Not an easy trip to the palace either. Okay, no. He's gone, he's out.
The other side. But, oh, that's a dead end, so.
Yeah. Well, you check the dead end at some point, so.
Sure, yeah.
Check it now and then forget about it later. Yeah, now
TA found Drunia.
Yeah, might as well pick up a stab and then you for sure got everything you need. Just find the closest palace and start jamming. I guess you would really like to find the last palace here in the east that we haven't found. If you find that, you can just do that and then up A, do all your west palaces, do your east and your maze and whatnot, and go back. Since GP is basically right next to start, it doesn't matter a ton what sort of route you take. Since you're, you know, when GP is on like the east or in Death Mountain or something, you want to try route in such a way that you're doing your last palace close to GP. Just so you don't have to make the whole walk all the way there special. But when GP is like 10 or 12 steps away from an up A, then just do whatever you want. Yeah, we'll see if jkoper up A is here. He's not. He's also going to search for that last palace. It is still possible. We haven't seen that last palace yet. And both runners have explored decently exhaustively. The likelihood is increasing that the palace is hiding under Three-Eyed Rock.
Yep. Which, at least one of our runners has the hints.
Yeah.
The flute is in the east.
And if it is, that's not a great sign because they don't have magic containers, they don't have spell. Oh, they have spell, but they can't cast it last I checked. Okay, jkoper can cast it at Magic 3. It's exactly 64. And TA can cast it now, having found a magic container on the water tower. Okay, so New Kasuto now completely open for TA. If he wants to try and look for that flute. jkoper found a palace. I didn't catch this one.
I think this was 4.
Okay, this is 4. This is the one we knew about. I mean, you might as well do it while you're here. Sunken Cave for TA. Yeah, I think he may be on the flute hunt at this point. And it's not here.
Bad.
So, flute in New Kasuto.
Now, did we see the Grandma's basement?
We didn't. It was 5 containers, though, so TA will be able to get both that and Spell Tower on a revisit. Hope we're doing this. This is possible. It's a little tricky to get this key without upstab. There you go.
Yeah, that is true. TA has to get revenge on Risen Piga Cave. We'll see if he ends up going back or if he gets what he needs here.
Alright.
There it is.
Flute kit. And yep, as expected, has the flute, abandoned ship. No need to go to the spell tower anymore. He definitely has everything he needs to complete the seed.
Going straight into Death Valley. Might as well, you're right there.
Yeah. But the only reason not to is he's pretty close to 3-Head Rock, and if he was going to check it, he could do that before going into the valley.
I think it's kind of a weird loop around to get back there, so...
Maybe.
It might actually be... Well, I don't know, the bridge isn't very close to start.
Yeah, I mean, like...
It's kind of a wash.
Yeah, also, like, it doesn't really matter. Again, like we said, with GP being right next to start, he could, like...
Yeah.
Up A out of here, do West Palaces, take the connector to the east that's right next to the maze, do that, right? Like, this is reasonable routing, whatever you do.
Looks like a P2.
Slightly lighter colors going on here. That's not just jkoper's darker palettes on his hardware. Hey, TA got to use the one-way key door. One of my favorite mechanics that we don't get to use enough. He still hasn't seen the blue wire knuckle drippers, but I don't think they were worth a ton. I think they were like 100.
Maybe only 70. jkoper trying to get the cross there, but it's a death.
Yeah, I think it's a worthy pickup. He was trying to kill the Stalfos just to get some experience, but it was a little spooky the first time. Two different fairy or glove block rooms at the same time. That's unusual.
P4 is quite a journey.
Yeah, he had like one dead end earlier, and then just kind of this big long path. This is the end of this big long path. I think Koper wisely taking the up A. Yeah, that was just the dead end at the start, yeah. Gotta be a fork somewhere to the left here that he didn't take.
I think there's another elevator pretty shortly on this path. Yeah, right here.
So... I don't remember what way Koper took earlier, but presumably it wasn't this one.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he stayed going left last time.
Yeah, it's a bit of an unusual path to take, but maybe it was this.
Keys. Oh no, okay,
it was this connector that he got to that he wanted to change on, and it's going to be another Rebo. Since this is P4, we are definitely getting a Rebo Shark.
Been a while since I've seen Rebo Shark. Nice of him to join us.
Unfortunately, Rebo Shark suffers a crippling weakness to downstab. And Red Jar is our boss item. That's kind of a nice one. Especially with Fairy being our only way through doors.
Oh, Rebo guarding Parrot here. Meanwhile, Helmet Head goes down on TA's side. He seemed a little bit tanky on Shack 3, but nothing TA couldn't handle.
And both runners going to place their first gem almost at the same time. Parrot gives enough for Koper to get a double level.
Yeah, probably going right back to the east. Check that three-eyed rock, I assume. Or at least clearing out the other palace there.
TA also gonna, looks like, go to the maze. This not going to the maze. Okay. Go to P4. Right next to the maze. It's fine either way.
We're just gonna try and dig out the other item here. Still looking for a magic container, I assume.
Yeah, he could use a magic container. He doesn't. We still don't know if the flute is actually needed or not. An any key would be a nice pickup. Because I think he's still at 1 cast of Fairy per life, which is an awkward place to be.
TA is in P4.
We'll see if he goes the left or down here. Okay. He is going to go left, so he's going to be on the same route as Koper was. Meanwhile, Koper going P1 should be a lot nicer than 4. I say, cursing us with an immediate left.
Interesting that both of our runners are choosing the left over the right on this. But TA is turning it back there. Oh, that's a... I'm always confused about the variations of that room, but I must have been a dead end. TA turned back there.
I didn't catch which room it was, yeah.
It was the one with like the 2-block high staircases that sometimes have 2 enemies and sometimes they don't. One of them has a pass through, I think.
Yeah, the one that passes through has the 2 enemies on the stairs. Yeah, there's a couple other variations from Vanilla, and they both don't. Ooh. TA misses the jump, didn't have Fairy queued up in time, and not able to pause quick enough to get it. If you miss the jump, you really do not have much time to react. And I bet we're going to see him have... I guess he probably already has Fairy queued up here the second time. So that if you do drop, you can do the Fairy real quick. And man, TA taking... Unfortunately, this could have been an opportunity for TA to gain a bunch of time. If, all you had to do was go right at the 4-way. And instead, TA is taking exactly the same route that Koper did. He's going to burn all that time as well.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, but...
Yeah, that just means that runners are going to stay close. Plenty of available keys, both from the dungeon drops and from the enemies.
There's our horse head. Actually, it looks like TA is getting through here faster than.
I must have found a
jkoper.
different way to the 4-way. So a little bit of time gain over Koper. Although not the cleanest revo. We'll take him down. Koper gonna turn around. He's looking for the item in 4.
Oh, he's in 1 right now.
Oh, sorry, in 1. Yeah, TA's in 4.
Not
And
a
yeah,
bad
probably,
idea. It's quick, right? So
yeah,
Palace,
I
generally.
suspect he's looking for like a flute or an any key. I don't know if he was the one who had. I know one of our runners had the flute hint, but don't know if it was Koper or not.
I think it was TA. At least I saw him get the hint, but I don't know if jkoper saw it also. But oh, there's the item room.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was a whole lot of junctions for Koper to potentially get trolled by, but no, seed is kind,
And
and that's useless. That is the jump spell that our runners already have via the fire spell. He's going to try and dig out the second item, and we're going to get confirmation on what's under the rock. It is, in fact, our last palace. It was kind of expected, given that both other runners checked the whole thing, so that's a little bit more advantage to TA. His time spent getting the flute not wasted. This is the other 3 or 6. We don't know which one it is yet. Haven't seen anything beyond the entrance from the first 3 or 6.
So the way this is going to work out...
Well, it's 6.
there's 6, yeah.
That's a very quick 6.
I think the hint for the flute was in New Kasuto. So if he happens to get there with a magic container...
Yeah, the magic container the magic container TA had gotten was on water tiles, so Koper likely to find that on the way.
Yeah, they were all kind of bunched together, so... By the time he makes it down there, he should suspect that Three-Eyed Rock is hiding a palace.
But this is time that TA is gaining on him. Already having completed the shortest 6 in some time. And not surprising, we're going to see TA do the maze while he's right next to it. And then up A and do the 2 palaces on... I guess Valley of Death next, probably. And then up A, do West palaces. And then up A again for GB.
For the question in chat, the flute is not typically required for randomizers, but it is sometimes depending on the layout of the map. Sometimes the monster can, the River Devil can be blocking a path that you need to take.
Yeah.
Which is actually pretty rare.
Yeah, he tends to be, so in some flag sets, there's always a palace under Three-Eyed Rock, and the flute is a lot more needed in those flags. Here it's a random location. It turned out to be a palace this time, but it could be anything.
Yeah, that is the other use for the whistle is Three-Eyed Rock.
Yeah, the River Devil's most likely chance to actually be blocking something relevant is in mountainous biome. Because it's a lot more likely that there's paths between areas that you can only get to via the path, and in a mountainous you can't just boot around it. There are some. The River Devil's got his some tricks up his sleeve for 4.4 though. We could be seeing some more River Devil action in the future.
Excited to see what that means. Practice.
Yeah, the River Devils have unionized. Yeah, and this is expected for Koper. You know, just checking every location on this loop. Gonna get his magic container. Gonna get his flute in just a second. Go east to find the flute. Immediately followed by the location that contains the flute. I have to reinforce to all of our viewers, I do not rig the hints. They are bad on their own. Hope we're also going to get shield on his way. Makes sense. Interesting TA cast jump there to try and get over the Guma. But no shield spell. Probably gonna want a shield spell here. Or just not to get hit, you know. I know he did spend the time to pick it up, but he hasn't been using it very aggressively. We are gonna get a spell tower check from Koper. Probably just hoping this is vanilla. Would be about the best thing he could get. Another container, not bad though.
Help.
Unfortunately for him, TA kind of just blazing through these palaces.
Yeah, East is done for TA.
Yep. So 2 West palaces here left for TA. Got a 5 and a 3. I don't remember exactly where they are, but I'm sure he does. And we can see a very quick GP entry. If 3 is usually not too bad, and if 5 is short, or at least if TA doesn't have to check much of it, then you could potentially see like a 50 or 55 minute GP entry.
E5 does tend to be pretty trolly though.
Yeah, well, here it is.
Here we see.
Got nice colors though.
Yeah, very soft.
Our container probably worth picking up. He agrees. Will we see a drop check, or is he going to bridge back? He is bridging back. One of the places where you do have to be careful with how you break the bridge if you want to walk back. It's the case a significant majority of the time that room loops into itself just because of the way the logic works, but not always. It is possible that it drops you somewhere else, and if it does, it tells you a decent amount about how the palace is shaped. Okay. This room that TA is in, going right to left, is awful. It's very mean. TA just casting fairy. This room can be bad especially if the flyers are annoying.
This layout's not too bad, the MOA, but yeah, that one gives me a lot of trouble.
Yeah, the MOA's not the worst flying enemy. How does it look right now? I think TA definitely has a lead. He got a little bit lucky in the way his overworld routing worked, and also had a quicker P4 than Koper did. Koper full cleared it, and TA looks like only cleared about maybe half of it or slightly over. So that put TA a solid palace ahead, but both runners in go mode at this point, just cranking out palaces. Still plenty of opportunity for GP to turn the race around. Yeah, 6 is very short, so the fact that the TA is 2 palaces ahead on the board is slightly dampened by the fact that both of those palaces are quick ones. But Koper's gonna have to make up time somewhere. And the faster these palaces are for TA, the less opportunity he's going to have to do that. 5 was not too bad. And 5, 6, 7 plus shield spell, 6 bars, going to be no problem.
Yeah, looking back at this so far, I can't think of too much time where jkoper can make things up.
I mean, it's going to have to be GP at this point.
Yeah, it'll have to come down to GP.
Koper up to 5, 5, 6. So that's the last really big level for him is that attack 5. And TA, having gotten Magic 6 Fairies, dropped to nothing, and he's reached the screw it, I'm just going to cast Fairy everywhere stage of the seed.
He's gonna feel very comfortable going into GP with Life 8 and Shield.
Yeah, and probably either it's gonna be either Attack 6 or Magic 7. Probably Attack 6 is usually how it turns out. Hope we're finding an extra container. I mean, Koper does have some extra things over TA that are just not necessary. The thing that's nice for Koper, the thing that he does have that is going to be really advantageous is a win in the first game of this series at this point. I mean, GP always has a chance to troll anyone. You know, you're one game over away from losing 5 minutes half the time. So definitely don't count Koper out yet, but he's gonna have to find a way to catch up, and just another loop for him. Right, here we're back with our best friend Rebo. Hilariously, this is in fact a Rebo guarding a Rebo. True story, there's basically no limit to the number of Rebos that can spawn in a palace.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, there's not any technical limitation. As long as, you know, in seeds where duplicate protection is off, you can just get a whole bunch of Rebo rooms.
I was going to say, at least you shouldn't be able to see more than one, or two, I guess, right? Because there's 2 different variations of the mini-boss room.
Yeah, there's
right,
2.
So.
Yeah, I don't remember if duplicate protection was on for this for these flags or not, but yeah, there's two different versions of the room. And T3 also a quick one. We're going to see sub 50 GP entrance. That was a quick one. I mean, we did get sort of all our required stuff early. The flute was the only real curveball here.
Even that was a very easy pickup.
Yeah. You did have a little bit of work you had to do. You had to go get that 5th container, but it wasn't very far or very hard to get.
The issue here is I don't think jkoper has confirmed that Three-Eyed Rock is required here, so I think he's exploring around a little more. Or is he...
He might just be on his way to Three-Eyed Rock. But TA is on his way to GP, so...
There it is, the gate is up at 48.22.
This is the fastest GP entry I've seen in quite some time.
Okay, here's
yeah,
jkoper.
Was just on his way to... I think TA got to Three-Eyed Rock by taking the... Instead of taking the bridge, he took the raft to Maze to... The raft to DM to take the other cave to the east and sort of worked his way around. It might have been a little bit faster, I'm not sure. Very close either way.
Yeah.
Man, DB in chat with the very notable prospect of a key required room. No any key from these runners. I don't think they have a spare, so they do find the key required room. It's going to be a bit of a troll. TA finds Thunderbird, man.
Oh.
This is a quick one. We did see a fork just before this, so once Thunderbird is down, Darklink could be anywhere behind him.
Could even be in the next room, which would be pretty wild.
Could be 20 rooms of linear path later.
Yep.
And this is the best. This is the place where it's the best to have Red Jar from killing boss, is to be able to get a magic refill after killing Thunderbird. It's very nice. What's not nice is lava plus chickens.
Four-way.
That's not what you want to see. Especially a four-way that leads to more forks, oh no. What you're hoping for is that the rest of GP was off to the left right before Thunderbird. Instead, what it is a bunch of forks. Wave spell not castable, 31, not quite enough for TA.
This might be a loop.
Almost certainly.
Yep.
Yeah, this is a loop.
There was an up and left back within that loop that he might have to go back to.
For sure possible. He hasn't lost any lives yet, though, so still going to be in decent shape if he takes a death.
Block.
Ooh, nice dodge. Not an easy place to dodge. jkoper in the really rough room just cast Fairy from the start. I don't blame him. See, this is nice. This is TA cast fire partially because jump is good, but also because fire is just really good in this room. Shooting fireballs to keep the Bogos at bay, although not going to be enough for him. Takes his first death.
They are surprisingly hard to deal with in that room. First time I encountered it, I did not think they would give me as much trouble as they did. But the angle they come at you and the damage they do.
Definitely one of the rooms in the game where the actual fire part of fire spell can be most useful, just to set up screens to keep Bogos away. You want to be really safe about it. If you're all the way at the top, when they jump, they'll basically be right at duck stab height, so you can break a couple blocks, stab one, break a couple blocks, stab one, just sort of take it slow, but Tia not interested in slow.
Yeah, he looped back around again.
Yeah,
looks like he's going back to that up and left over here.
Yeah, might as well at this point. It's either up left here, or I think up at the 4-way. No, he took up at the 4-way.
Yeah, I think it was only a right at the top of that 4-way. Yeah, part of that loop. jkoper finding his way to Uma.
Frog draw becoming much more normal when upgrades his scales. Oh boy, chicken and waffles. It's my favorite.
Been out of death here, yeah. That is tough to deal with. Now he's on his last life.
His shield spell helping keep him safe, but okay, he does manage to lose it eventually. Just in time for Dark Link. So, not sub 55, but gonna be a quick one. And easy enough. TA taken down at game 2 of 5. Official race time 55:29. And jkoper immediately throwing in the towel.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
That was a quick one from TA.
Yeah, there's not much ways that can go better for someone.
Let's see if the runners want to come in for an interview. Or this is going to be, once again, game 2 of 5. So plenty more races to come between these runners. And we've got a jkoper here. GG's, man.
GG. I don't know if T is coming in or not.
Yeah, we'll see if he's coming in. This
I can tell you what happened. I know what happened. He went to the west first, and then did the east, and then before doing any of the north.
Yeah, it was just partially overworld routing, and just getting. He got the flute hint and the flute earlier than you. I just sort of got everything he needed, got into go mode, and then Pounded Palace's P6 was basically free. P3 was very short, and he gained a decent amount of time in P4. So you basically 100%ed that. And then GP was relatively straightforward, so pretty quick win overall. The Seed sort of, aside from the flute, gave everything you needed early, and then it was just off to the races. TA is going to come in just a second, so we can hold off on the meteor stuff for a bit, but
yeah,
so finally grab TA. Hey TA, GG.
Hey, good game. Thank you.
GG. I still had what seems like a lot left because I was just entering 3 to clean it up. But, yeah, I mean, it was fairly obvious to me what the difference was when you finished. So.
Yeah, honestly, I didn't make too many mistakes that seed. The flute I was a little concerned about because I had explored most of the east and I stupidly skipped the spell out of Mito thinking that I was in go mode. Then I was like, wait, I might need the flute. So I was very happy to find it in the basement. But yeah, my exploration of the west and the east was pretty smooth. I found the fairy spell pretty quickly going to the east. And basically just cleaned up everything I could find on the east, and I found the maze connector pretty early, so I did that. Then I just went back to the west and did 5-3 and then GP, so the route was pretty smooth for me overall.
Yeah, and GP ended up being pretty straightforward. Getting trolled a little bit at the end there, but thankfully is not that long.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad because I obviously went directly to Thunderbird, but there were multiple directions after him to get to Dark Link. But luckily, all of the directions just looped into each other. So although I full cleared the palace after Thunderbird, it was still pretty quick because I didn't have to deal with dead ends and backtracking and such.
Yeah, definitely could have been meaner.
Yeah, pretty tame overall. It's also nice getting the red jars from bosses as well. I was on my last life, so getting the jar off Thunderbird helped me like restore my health and such. So that was nice.
Yeah. Also, Fairy was it was quite a while before either of you had a cheap Fairy spell, and so knowing that you can you don't have to take an extra death on bosses is a nice little bonus.
Yeah, no, that was nice. Yeah.
Yeah, the fairy being like under, or it was exactly 32, I think, when I got it, which was already amazing, and then it went to under 24, like a level or 2 later. So.
Yeah, Cooper, you had found a couple extra containers over TA, so your magic was really good the whole time.
Yeah, I just got the ones that were on the way. I wasn't 100% that I didn't need the hammer. Checking for items at the end, and I mean, they weren't very far on the way anyway. So, yeah, I did skip the Risen P-Bag Cave because that would have surely just led to a game over. So, yeah, I was I wasn't concerned. I had that on my radar for coming back to if I needed to for the flute, but
yeah, I think TA did game over in Risen the first time we found it. So
I went west on the I went to the west on the west and found the bridge, which led me to the east, and I immediately checked the caves up top, and I found Risen, and I tried to get through it on 111. I'm assuming it was a coconut that was in the way, but I kept getting one-shotted by something, so Unfortunately, I couldn't get the item out of there and and I game overed. And I never actually went back there because I found the glove on my next check, and it's kind of an interesting. You have some interesting choices to make when you find an early glove, excuse me, and you have a potential go mode. It's like, do I just go find the fairy spell and start banging out palaces and see if I need? Because I knew I didn't need the medicine. Well, it was spell. I mean, I could have, presumably, but um, yeah, I don't know. It was a tough decision for me to make. I didn't know if I wanted to do all the checks in the west or if I wanted to just go to the east and find fairy spell because I had found the 4 towns pretty early. So I ended up doing that. Went east pretty early and got the fairy spell. I mean, old Kasuda with fairy was kind of tucked away right by Three-Eyed Rock, and I found it immediately. I luckily went the right way, so finding that first uh, helped my route out significantly because I was able to go to the southern part of the east and then just go into the Valley of Death, get Palace 2 done, and just have a smooth and clean route because I had found that fairy spell early.
Yeah. Sounds nice. I mean, my play, as far as I'm concerned, was perfectly fine, and nothing really went wrong for me. Just didn't get as nice of ordering. So anyway, we'll do this again tomorrow. So got at least 2 more after tonight, and no idea when Game 4 will be. Probably next week or something. But yeah, thanks for the race, and thanks for the comms and tracking and everything, and putting on the restream.
Yeah, good game, jkoper.
Yeah. Good luck tomorrow in the next race.
Yep, and likewise, thanks for the comms and all the behind-the-scenes work. And yeah, tomorrow night at 8 p.m. will be Game 3. So, see you then.
Yeah, and Game 4 has not yet been scheduled, but I'm sure that'll pop up soon. I know Trails and Mirai are playing Friday night as well. So yeah, that'll be it for us tonight. Thank you all for watching. I went through. All right, well, thank you all for watching.